and smile.
How are you going today? We've got Margaret Aboody from Luemo. I was going to say Margaret Luemo, but you're not from Aboody. You're from Luemo. How are you going?
Hi, Kevin. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Now, really important topic today that there is a lot of angst around.
Yes, there is. It seems like we're back in the middle of 2020 again.
Absolutely. And look, it doesn't really matter, what people's beliefs are, and we're not going to tell people what they have to believe. That's a conversation for a whole nother day. And in fact, that's not a conversation for in this community. But we're challenged on a number of fronts because the world's in a really strange position and Australia's in a really strange position.
Well, we certainly are. And I think people are harbouring still a lot of, just like in the middle of 2020, harbouring a lot of confusion and anxiety about the future, looking at the other states and seeing what's happened there. Victoria just coming out of lockdown, Sydney's still in lockdown. Is that going to happen to us as well? What is going to happen to my business? Am I going to have... Yeah.
And as you said, we've got a whole lot of different challenges. So, somebody once said, hey, we're all in the same storm, or we're all in the same boat. And it really isn't we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same storm, but we've all got different boats. And our boats are differently equipped and all that sort of stuff. And so we need to, what I want to encourage people, particularly in our community, is to have more empathy for each other and different points of view. And that's okay for people to believe something different from what you do.
Yes, absolutely. And we do have different scenarios. And I agree totally with what you're saying. We're all experiencing the same storm, but we're all in different boats, and we've got different people in our boats and different stuff in our boats as well. And so some people are working from home. Some people are homeschooling. Some people have no work to do and they're at home not doing anything. And some of them have got a combination of all three. You might have one partner working, one not, and then you've got the homeschooling on top of that. And I think it's going to be really important for people to take some time to think about, well, how are we going to treat this time and what are our basic routines going to be?
Absolutely. And on top of that, some of the challenges and some of the angst is created by the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know when this is going to finish. We don't know, if there is a true path out by the government. For me, it'd be kind of as simple as saying, hey, we're going to provide enough vaccine, and on this day, you're either vaccinated or you're not. Let's open the doors, right? Unfortunately, the government don't think like I do.
No, they don't seem to think like any of us.
No, they don't. No. And look, I don't care how they think. What we've got to do is look after ourselves. We've got to stop playing the victim and start getting control back of our own lives. We've got to be our own hero. Because if we just want to sit there and say the government should, the government should, the government should, then next time anything happens, all we'll be doing is saying the government should, right? We got to save ourselves. And when
absolutely
determine, and some people go, hey, that's easy for you to say because your business isn't absolutely shut down. But last year I did shut my business down while I looked after this community. I have consistently put my time and my money where my mouth is. Right? Yeah. I do not know anyone else who has put more into trying to support small business as I have. That's a pure fact. Last year, we did over 150 shows, and they're all still there on YouTube that you can go and find out. If you just go to BSB TV or Brisbane Small Business on YouTube, you'll see 150 plus different shows on things you can do. We did, I think, around 30-odd episodes of Raw on Raw, which focused on mental health.
Yeah.
Right?
Great resource.
On top of that, lately, I've been buying people things to help them improve their business, and we're continuing to do so. So, like, love me or hate me, I'm doing practical stuff to help this, and today's show is about that. So that's my little rant.
Yeah. Oh, look, and rant you on, because I think it's time that we need to start focusing on positive and useful, as opposed to thinking about being highly productive and perfect all the time. And sometimes we need to be useful and positive as opposed to, putting the pressure on us and everybody else about how productive are you today, or what are you doing that's perfect, and all of that sort of thing. And holding ourselves account to some standards that used to be standards that we could, aspire to. And right now, I think we need to move those goalposts a little bit to suit the times. Start thinking about what's positive and useful, and focusing on that.
And if people hang around, those people who are here and joining in, if you hang around, I'm actually going to have a really special offer at the end of this. So you better hang around for that. Because it's going to be pretty exciting for someone. Now, we need to have a positive and useful strategy to put ourselves, to look after, you've said, our mental health hygiene. Yeah,
we do. And so this is contained in a blog that I have. It's called Top Tips for Tough Times. And I'll actually put the link in the comments when we finish this. And in that, there are 5 very clear strategies that we use, or things that we need to focus on, that really buoy our resilience, our mental health, and our well-being, and the things that get us through our day. And it's the stuff we're in control of. Before I tell you those 5, though, what I do want to say is hook on to something that you said before, Kevin, and about taking control and understanding that, we all feel a certain way, and resilient people still feel confused about this, upset about this, anxiety about this, and that sort of thing. But resilient people choose a different set of behaviours to people who are not resilient. And people who choose the right behaviours and choose to do certain things are going to fare a lot better through this time and when we come out the other side. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I mean, there's been times through this where I've, basically sat in the shower rocking forwards and backwards, right? And just about to throw it all in, right? Yeah. But I think everyone's been in that boat. Okay, I don't think I'm anything special. I don't think...
oh, yes, you are, Kevin.
From that. But we're all special. So we're all... Some people... My sister used to tell me how special I was some days too. But, the reality is, it is up for us to decide to get back up. And what are we going to do for... How are we going to best equip ourselves, either in working on our business now or... doing our business, what strategies? If you can see anybody else in your industry that is currently succeeding, then that's an opportunity for you to go, hey, I want to find out what they're doing and what can I do to be more of that?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I've got a little audience member.
That's okay.
Homeschooling, isn't it awesome? Yeah, that's right. And those people who are doing things that are getting through this in better ways, making positive plans for the future, they're the resilient people, and they have chosen to do these things in spite of what's going on. Yeah. So you want me to...
What are your 5 top things?
Yeah, so my 5 top things. Well, my number 1 thing is focusing on your mental health hygiene. That is focusing on your basics. You're eating right, sleeping right, and moving your body. Okay. Once again, you don't have to be perfect at this, but we need to eat food that gives us, that is nutrition and high energy.
That's okay.
And we need to sleep. If you don't sleep, you're undermining everything that you're doing, so get your 8 hours of sleep. Otherwise, you're going to be drinking coffee in the morning and trying to rev up your engine in other ways. But sleep is so important, not only for energy, but also for processing our thoughts and our memories and dealing with stress. And the third one, the moving. And so exercising. Exercising is awesome. And you don't have to get a personal trainer or anything like that. Good old-fashioned walking and brisk walking is awesome. So if you're not an exerciser, just put on a pair of flat shoes. You don't need special equipment, and just get out and have a walk. I mean, people who exercise regularly know what it does for them. It's so good for your brain. Exercising your mood is actually a program that Black Dog had running at some time, and they were really pushing the benefits of exercise and mood and movement. And moderate exercise every day has been shown to be as good as talking therapy in treating mild and moderate levels of depression. So there's a lot to be said for getting out there and moving around. It's not just about losing weight. and looking like an Instagram model. It's about your mental health. So that's the number one. Number two is connecting with people. Okay, stay connected. When we're not connected, we get lonely, and there's a hell of a lot of things that go with loneliness that are undesirable. So connect with people, connect with your family by phone, by Zoom, by messaging, whatever it is that you like to do. And, book in a little time to have a half-hour coffee in the morning together, and just have a chat.
And on top of that, I'm going to encourage you to make it as real as possible. So rather than thinking, hey, I can send someone a message on Messenger, or I can, send them a quick text or whatever, if you can Zoom, if you can, or Team or whatever, blah, 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 insert other photographic thing here. Have a morning tea break with your partner if they're still working at home as well, or with your child if they're playing games behind you. Right? So make sure that you're doing the most to get human interaction still, right? That's because that
absolutely
will exercise a lot of your senses.
And make sure it's the positive interaction as well. Like I said, don't sit on the phone talking to your mate about how hopeless the politicians are for an hour. It's a waste of time, and it's not good for our energy. It's not good for our mental health, because we can't do anything about that.
Cool. So one, mental health hygiene.
Mental health hygiene. Two, connection.
Yep.
Three is we need to tap in and really get in touch with what we're thinking and do some work on our mind management. Don't believe everything you think. You might have heard me say that before. So we have so many negative thoughts that are flying around in our heads. We have so many repetitive thoughts flying around in our heads, which are a waste of time, and they undermine what we're trying to do every day. They're very distracting. They're negative. They stop us from doing positive things, and they change our moods, and they make us do things that are quite negative or hold us back. So these are our fears and our uncertainties and our doubts, and these things run around, and they're quite irrational often, telling us that this pandemic we'll never, ever be able to go overseas again. This is going to go on forever,
And on top of all those things, be kind to yourself. Yeah. So with your thoughts,
absolutely.
Yourself. If you catch yourself beating yourself up about things that you haven't done or things that you should do or blah, 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 throw all that out and actually sit down and write an action plan and go, this is what I'm going to do. And then do that, right? So be kind to yourself. You can't change what has happened in the past. You can only start again now. Okay,
that's right.
So really critical thing.
And so talk to yourself like you're your best friend. But the main thing is you got to actually focus on that. A lot of people don't think about what they think. They just float along with it, and aren't mindful. It's all about that. So do some things to slow down your brain, like meditating or mindful breathing. Go for a walk in the bush and disconnect from everything, just to give yourself some space. So, and the fourth thing is remind yourself of the bigger picture and what your life really is about and what's really important to you, and that this lockdown and this pandemic is going to finish. It is going to end. We are going to come out the other end, and the things that we want to do, and things like our family, our friends, where we're going in our life, and the things that are important to us haven't disappeared. We can still work on those. We might have to work on them in different ways, but the bigger picture of our life and what we want is still available to us. And the last thing is disconnect from bad stuff. Yeah.
And number five?
Number five is disconnect from the prices of the world. So let's not start drinking wine at 3:00 in the afternoon when homeschooling finishes, okay?
I hate it when you start bringing up.
I know, but I'm not saying don't. I mean, just wait until 5, okay? So, get off the online shopping, and spending money that you don't have. Get off the social media that's not helpful. Get off the mainstream media that's not helpful. Disengage, mindfully disengage in stuff that's not adding value to your life. If it's not adding value, get rid of it. It's actually, taking you away from things that you really should be thinking and doing, So disconnect from some of those things.
Cool. Now, if you're still here and others that can join in later on, absolutely. So I've decided it's time to look. I appreciate fully that some people are going through an absolute crap storm. Okay. Really, I do appreciate that. So if your business has shut down, I've got $500 for the person who we feel is we're going to pay a bill for you.
Oh,
So you just need to tell us what you want us to pay for. It's going for one person. I'm not a benevolent schoolionaire, right? You know, I'm a small business owner like everybody else out there, but I want to make it easier for someone else out there. So I'm going to, on top of all the other stuff that we're doing, I'm going to give $500 for someone who really needs the support right now. So if that's you, I want you to put a comment in the feed below and let us know what you would spend that $500 on. A new holiday isn't going to cut it.
okay. So it has to be on something to help your business.
Has to be a bill you need to pay, has to be something for your business. Okay. So, you know, or something for your business. And this is for people who, you know, have been severely affected by this.
Yeah.
So Mike,
that's a very generous offer, Kevin. That's super generous. So what do they have to do again?
I'm continually putting my money where my mouth is. I'm sick and tired of people playing victim. I want to help people get back on top of stuff. And I want to show you that we need to support each other as small business owners, stop grumbling about it, and collectively help each other out instead of waiting for somebody else to be our savior all the time. You know, Gotham City never got past the challenges they had because they always kept calling Superman, right? And the challenges just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Let's not be that. Let's be in charge of our own lives.
Absolutely. Well said. So what do people do to get it again?
They need to put a comment below and tell us what they're going to spend on. Awesome. They need to explain to us why they need it and what they're going to spend it on. So, you know, help us understand a little bit more about the background so that we can make an informed decision and choose someone to help out. So if we've got a whole lot of really good things, then we'll throw them on the wheel of names and we'll do another spin and somebody gets it because, you know, it is going to be really hard to choose between, you know, a lot of very deserving people. So, Margaret, I want to thank you for your time today. Worst 5 minutes ever.
Thank you for everything that you do for the small business community, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to see people happy and succeeding in what they do. That is my pure goal. So sometimes we've got to face up to uncomfortable truths that, you know, maybe we weren't doing the right thing and we need to change what we're doing. Other times, you know, it's all about, you know, hey, I just need to refine something a little bit. So I want to help people get back on the right thing and taking control of their lives again. So thanks very much for your time and taking time to share. You don't forget to share your blog in the stream.
I will. It'll be in the comments as well. Is that the best place?
Yeah, and there's comments. You've got to put that in 4 different places. Hang around and I'll tell you where they are in just a second. Okay. I'll catch everyone else later on. Bye now.